Secretary of State Katie Hobbs.
You have been the target of attacks, even death threats.
Her home address and son's phone number leaked online.
A Stop the Steal activist wrote, "I am willing to give my life for this fight."
At least a dozen men, women
carrying weapons
outside the home of Arizona
Secretary of State Katie Hobbs. Thank you very much. Good to have you with us.
We had a job to do, and that job was simple. Count every vote. When you're under attack, some would have you believe you have two choices, to fight or give in. But there's a third option. Get the job done. I'm here to solve problems. When I grew up, there were times we struggled, even had to be on food stamps for a while. I knew early on I wanted to work to help improve the lives of others, protecting survivors of domestic abuse, ending the backlog of untested rape kits.
Democrat Katie Hobbs took action.
Expanding Medicaid and caring for our seniors.
Sweeping changes to Medicaid.
Tackling the opioid epidemic head on.
The Arizona Opioid Epidemic Act, a perfect example of what we can achieve when those in power choose to collaborate over division.
Before I was Secretary of State, the office was wasteful and mismanaged.
Failed in its duties.
So we got to work, streamlined operations, and made it more efficient and accountable to you.
These elections are safe and secure. Every ballot is going to be counted.
It's about fairness. That is what I've advocated for my whole career. But that's not always happening. There's real harm going on for many.
Land doctors in prison.
And the other side isn't offering policies to make our lives better. They're offering conspiracies that only make our lives worse.
What is your reaction to this ongoing assault against the results of the election there?
This is next level dangerous.
We did our job. They refuse to do theirs. And there's a lot more work to be done. That's why I'm running for governor, to rebuild our economy after COVID stronger than before, to make life-saving investments in healthcare, to invest in our schools, our teachers, and the next generation of Arizona's leaders, to ensure that your race, gender, or zip code do not dictate your destiny. In 2020, against all odds, in the middle of a pandemic, we proved that democracy works.
I know you were working through the night.
Everyone's watching Arizona and counting on us.
A state that is very crucial this year.
It's been my job and life's work to make government work for the people of Arizona, but the job's not done. Arizona needs to work for all. That's why I'm running. Let's get the job done.
Aaron is this ball of energy.
If there were more than 24 hours in a day, Aaron would certainly be working them.
My dad is a very energetic guy. He's very passionate about what he does.
Hey, I'm Aaron. Good to see you.
Hey, Aaron!
The thing that's so cool about Aaron is that he sees the potential in people that they don't even see in themselves. Aaron was still in college when he launched a program to revamp early childhood education. Like, who does that?
I knew Aaron a long time. When I was a little kid, he was a teacher and mentor to me.
When Tommy started in my classroom, he was basically nonverbal. He got the help he needed early, and now he works at Harvard. This is what we can do when we invest in people.
Aaron has always seen the bigger picture.
When COVID hit, I didn't know how we were going to keep everyone safe. The vaccination's available. We can't get it. You call, and within 48 hours, everybody was vaccinated.
As a legislator, it's my job to make sure that the systems are working the way they should for the people that we serve. And that's what I'll do as governor.
He doesn't care about the politics. He just wants to get things done and solve problems.
When we turn the page on this pandemic, let's turn the page on our politics too.
Aaron doesn't care about winning political games.
I think he really wants the people of Arizona to win.
Aaron's companies have created over 2,000 jobs and have provided education for nearly 1 million children.
Yes! Aaron is a job creator. He's an entrepreneur.
We need to get our economy back up and running, and at this moment, there's no one that I trust more to do the job than Aaron.
I want an Arizona that works for everyone. That's the opportunity that we have, and we can do it if we seize this moment.
Aaron has spent his life putting everyone else first.
I want my dad to be governor because he can do a lot of things that can help a lot of people.
We got to try new approaches to education, to healthcare, to ensuring that we have clean air and water and a booming economy that will help every Arizonan be successful.
Aaron is the leader Arizona needs right now.
The leader we deserve.
I believe Aaron will be a great governor, a fantastic governor.
Aaron is the right leader right now.
I'm Aaron Lieberman, and I'm running for governor.
I never thought of Arizona as a battleground. Most immigrant families like mine just thought of it as a place of opportunity. And the idea that every citizen should have a say in our elections wasn't supposed to be a battle at all. But there are people who won't accept change, and they've put Arizona on the front lines of a never-ending political fight, rerunning the last election over and over, refusing to accept it, choosing instead to suppress our votes however they can. I'm running for governor because I've learned that if you don't have a seat at the table, you're on the menu. And if they're going to try to take our right to vote away, we're going to take the governor's office. Because let's be honest, immigrants and Latinos are leading the change that they're so afraid of, and we'll be the ones to put a stop to this, once and for all. Join my campaign. Únete.
Democratic State Representative Reginald Boulding of Laveen is the new Democratic House Leader.
I'm incoming House Democratic Leader Reginald Boulding.
I represent District 27.
I do want to bring in Representative Reginald Boulding.
We can use our voice at this time, in this moment, to speak out against injustice.
Governor Ducey signing legislation not long after a pretty tense debate in the state Senate.
The effect of this bill
will make it harder for independent voters, seniors, Native Americans, Black, brown, and low-income people to vote. To each of you,
point of order.
I have 12 words for you.
Point of order. With regards to colored people, black people, whatever people in their ability to vote. I don't think it's correct, and I think he should be sat down and he shouldn't be allowed to speak.
The right to vote for people of color to live and the right to vote is inherently linked together.
Elected leaders should win on the strength of their ideas, not their ability to game the system. Voters should pick their politicians. Politicians should not pick their voters.
I truly believe that as a legislature, if all of our members, Republicans and Democrats, can have the courage to stand up to the status quo, we can make something special happen.
There are a number of different reforms that myself and other members of our community we're looking to actually move forward, making sure that our law enforcement officers have, implicit bias training, ensuring that our law enforcement officers have an opportunity to really build relationships with community.
We have a choice here at the state legislature. We can continue to do what we've always done and push for legislation that won't move us in the direction that this time is calling us to do, or we can continue to stand back and watch a renewed fight for our civil rights.
It is incumbent upon you to use your voice to make sure that this legislature, make sure that these members know that we will not stand by and let this happen.
I've spent my whole life fighting for justice and democracy. As a United States Marine, an attorney, an elections administrator, and a father of 3 strong, independent daughters. In 2016, when I saw purposeful and shameful efforts to make voting more difficult, I got involved, got elected, and fought back. Then revolutionized elections for the 2nd largest jurisdiction in the United States, making voting easier for all Arizonans. But now, our democracy is under a full-fledged attack. So it's imperative that we elect a Secretary of State who's ready to do the job on day one. I'll stand up to the voter suppression laws, the baseless challenges to our election results, and the type of violent insurrection seen both here in Arizona and at our nation's capital. Join me in the fight to protect voting rights for all Arizonans.
My name is Adrian Fontes, and I'm running for Arizona's Secretary of State.
Hi, I'm Chris Mays. Growing up in Arizona, I learned about hard work and playing fair. My mom was a teacher and my dad was a pharmacist. They raised 3 kids and ran a tree farm in their spare time. I was taught to look out for family and for the people in our community. That's why I've decided to run for Arizona Attorney General, because these past few months show us how far off track our state's leaders have taken us. Some of the people we elected are more interested in canceling the past election than they are in building our future economy. Others see their job as taking care of the big shots who donated to their campaigns. And we've got an attorney general right now who sued all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court to take healthcare coverage away from hundreds of thousands of our neighbors right here in Arizona. I've had it. We need to get back to the core mission of government. Protect families, look out for the common good, protect everyone's right to vote, play fair. So I'm running for Arizona Attorney General. I'll make a formal announcement in the fall, but right now I need your help. Please join our campaign. Let's get back to core values, putting Arizona families first.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to give everyone a few minutes to continue to log on. We encourage you to use the speaker view, which is located in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. We have also made live transcript available to all attendees. It should be on that bottom bar below this picture. You will find the MCDP contact information is located on the screen as well as in the chat box. It'll just be a few more minutes.
Welcome all to the summer convention. I'm Dr. Linda Thor, and thanks to the hard work of the County Democratic Party, I was overwhelmingly re-elected last November to a second term on the Maricopa Community College District Governing Board in the county-wide seat. I want to stress the importance of supporting the down-ballot candidates, including Democrats running for nonpartisan offices such as school boards and the Community College Board. Thank you for everything that you have done in the past and for what you will do in the future.
Hello, I'm Jacqueline Smith, and I proudly serve as a governing board member representing the Maricopa County Community Colleges. This upcoming year promises to be a fantastic year for our students, our faculty, and our staff. Thank you for believing in our students and for all that you do in Maricopa County.
Hi, Maricopa County. It's Heather Macri. Welcome to the summer convention. I want to say a big thank you to all of our neighborhood leaders and other elected officials for making this happen. I'm here at the Avengers campus to remind you that voting is your superpower. So make sure that you use it and vote all the way up and all the way down the ballot to offices like the Central Arizona Water Conservation District. Thanks, guys, and have a great summer.
Hello, I'm Woody Thomas, Director for District 4 for the Maricopa County Special Healthcare District Board. I'd like to welcome all PCs, Democrats, and interested parties for the Maricopa County Democratic Party Summer Convention. The Special Healthcare District Board is for the Valley-wise healthcare system. Thank you. Have a good day.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Love, and I'm a school governing board member with the Chandler Unified School District. I want to welcome all PCs, activists, and neighborhood leaders to the MCDP Summer Convention. With gag rules on our teachers and a budget that simply does not put Arizona students first, we need you now more than ever. That's why we need to do our best to vote down ballot and really turn our state blue in our statewide and school board races.
Hola, mi nombre es Sofía Carrillo Dahl y estoy tan emocionada de estar aquí con ustedes en esta convención de verano del Partido Demócrata del Condado de Maricopa, aunque sea solamente virtualmente. Hey everybody, I am so excited to be here with you guys today, even if it's just virtually, at the summer convention of the Maricopa County Democrats. Right now, I am the Vice President of our Creighton School Board in Phoenix. I sit as the Latinx Outreach Chair for LD24 Democrats, and I am also the Vice Chair of the Latino Outreach Committee for the Maricopa County Democrats. My passion is in education. I believe all children do, regardless of their background, economic socio-status, their race, ethnicity, whether they live in a rural or suburban district, need to have and be afforded the same education all across the state of Arizona. If you share that same passion with me, I encourage you to run for school board. We need people like you making a difference in school boards and in the communities. I hope to see your name on the ballot for the next election running for school board. Enjoy the convention.
Hey everyone, I want to thank you for your time with us today, and most importantly, thank you to the staff and executive board for this year's summer convention. My name is Jessica Bueno, and like many of you joining us, I actively participate in different capacities to serve and educate our community within the party. I currently serve LD30 as a PC and am the secretary for the Latino Outreach Committee. But last year, I received the honor of a lifetime by being elected to the Phoenix Elementary School Board. In 2018, I heard loud and clear from our educators that our public education system was under attack, and I knew I could help in this battle. It was also critical to me that representation of our community reflected this decision-making body while putting the safety and health of our students first. Being a school board member is a role and responsibility that impacts our future, and we need bold and courageous leadership to stand up for our children. If you or someone you know is interested in running for a school board position, please reach out to the Party for Help.
Happy Saturday, everyone. I'm Nancy Schreiber, chair of the Maricopa County Democratic Party. Although we can't be together in person, we're glad you're all able to join us virtually today. We hope this will be the last time we hold our MCDP convention on Zoom. We know it is easier in some ways to be in the comfort of your own home, but we all know that once it is safe to do so, an in-person event is important. It allows us to reconnect with friends, have conversations with like-minded Democrats, and absorb the energy that this incredible group of PCs, volunteers, and candidates brings to a room. That is the energy we're going to need to sustain us through the next 15 months of our election cycle. We hope to capture some of that today as you hear from some of our statewide candidates and leaders from across Maricopa County. The chat box will be open, but any comments made will go to the panelists, not to the entire audience. As a point of information, we asked for resolutions to be submitted by July 7th. As none were submitted, there will be no voting on resolutions today. At the end of the convention, we will adjourn the meeting and invite you to stay on this Zoom call to hear more about the 2022 initiatives and referenda. We have the leaders from all of those groups present. The time is now 11:11. This meeting is called to order. You all received an email last Friday with a link to view the minutes from the December 19th, 2020 Winter Convention. We've also posted the link in the chat box. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
This is Heather Morawick. I make a motion to approve the minutes from the Winter Convention.
Thank you, Heather. Is there a second?
Hi, this is Alejandro Larios, and I second.
Thank you, Alejandro. Will all precinct committee members in favor of approving the motion, please raise your hand. You will find that button at the bottom of your screen. I think I can say I'm watching the numbers rise. Thank you so much. The motion is carried. At this time, I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Secretary Julian Castro. He is no stranger to Maricopa County. He has continued to show up for MCDP through the years. We know him as Secretary of Housing and Urban Development under President Obama. What I appreciate most about him are his uncompromising values and pursuit of justice at all times. As the former mayor of San Antonio, Secretary Castro understands the importance of local governing. He was not only behind mass transit and downtown redevelopment, he also adopted universal pre-K. One of my favorite statements by Secretary Castro is, the best way to make sure a young person gets ahead is to make sure they don't get behind in the first place. Please welcome Secretary Castro.
Hello, Maricopa County Dems. Thank you so much for that introduction, Nancy, and most importantly for your leadership. I am coming to you today, not from my hometown of San Antonio, but from the Texas state capitol, where I and a couple of thousand Texans just finished up a rally to push for voting rights here in the state of Texas, and also to send a clarion call to Washington, D.C. that we need to pass the For the People Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. This effort was led by Reverend Barber and the Poor People's Campaign, and has excited so many Texans. I know that in Arizona, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that we need to step up in this moment and protect our voting rights. It's wonderful to be with you for so many different reasons. First of all, I love your state. Growing up, I visited Arizona a number of times during the campaign. I also had the chance to visit, and I used to tell folks all the time that my two favorite places to visit on the campaign trail were Northern Arizona and Northern Nevada. In fact, just the other day, I was at the Grand Canyon and Sedona with my family, and we had a wonderful time. When I think about Arizona, I think of a state that represents, in a very real way, the future of our country. A state that for a long time has been diverse, that is growing with a diversified economy, and also with so many of the both opportunities and challenges that we see around the country. I know that one of the challenges y'all are facing right now is a Republican Party that is dead set on voter suppression and on keeping people away from the ballot box. I want to thank everybody who's been a part of the effort to make sure that our elections are above board, that they're fair, and that everybody has a chance to vote in the state of Arizona, here in Texas, and across the country. I know there are many of y'all who have been working at this for years and years. You're the lifeblood of the Arizona Democratic Party. Thank you, gracias, for all of your efforts over the years. Just over 6 months into President Biden's term, we can see what a difference it makes to have a Democrat in office. 6 months ago, the United States was lagging behind in terms of grappling with the coronavirus and getting ahead of it, getting vaccines into people's arms. 6 months later, millions and millions of Americans have gotten that vaccine. And even as we see a surge in the Delta variant, it's made a difference in saving lives, that the Biden administration has much more efficiently done the job of protecting Americans by getting the vaccine out there. We've also seen the economy start to grow again, people getting back to work, small businesses opening back up. That's the difference that a Democrat makes. It's also true that we're on the cusp of making historic investments in people. Because of investments like the American Rescue Plan, poverty is getting cut in half. Child poverty is getting cut tremendously. Because of the infrastructure package that is being put together, folks are going to get back to work. Our roads and bridges across this country are going to get rebuilt, modernized. Not only that, but hopefully at the end of the day, after the reconciliation process, we're going to invest in families and the most vulnerable and make sure that we leave nobody behind in this country. That's why it's important, the work that y'all are doing in Maricopa County. I know, like so many of you, how important Arizona is to the future of this party. You have an important Senate seat coming up in 2022. It's important that we reelect Mark Kelly, that we elect Democrats up and down the ballot who will stand up for a state and a nation where everyone counts. It's also important because you are an inextricable part of the winning coalition for 2024. And we know that as Maricopa County goes, so goes the state of Arizona. Y'all have done tremendous work over these last few years, registering voters, knocking on doors, getting people to come out and exercise their right to vote. People that before didn't see the purpose, they didn't see the meaning, they didn't see the reason to come out and vote. You've convinced them, you've gotten them out there. You're making a difference. I wanted to come here today from our state capitol, hot and sweaty after this rally, to just say that people across the country recognize your efforts. We say a huge thank you to you for doing them. We know how important they are. And also, I want to challenge you to redouble those efforts, to keep them up. We need to make sure that you succeed in the state of Arizona in electing great folks and setting a direction for the future of our country, a direction where every single person is treated with dignity, where we leave nobody behind, where we make investments so that everybody can prosper, and that we create an America where anybody's dreams can come true. You're such a fundamental part of making that true. Thank you so much, Maricopa County. Go get them.
Thank you so much, Secretary Castro, for those inspirational words. As always, we appreciate your ongoing support of Maricopa County, and we look forward to seeing you in person as soon as it is safe to do so. Thank you again. Have a great day, rest of your day.
Thank you. Take care.
I want to introduce my fellow MCDP board members. Patty O'Neill, First Vice Chair Alejandro Larios, Second Vice Chair Jade Duran, Secretary, Heather Morawick, Treasurer, and Redeem Robinson, our Sergeant at Arms. I'm so grateful that this body chose to elect this dedicated, hardworking team. I am in awe of all of their experience and their passion to move the needle in Maricopa County. And thank you to our amazing staff at MCDP for putting this event together and for all the work they do every day to run this organization. Our Executive Director, Nalexia Galloway, Communications Director, Eder Diaz-Martinez, and Field Director, Laura Koppel. And of course, John David Herman, who is still answering our phones from home every day. We would be lost without their intelligence, knowledge, and devotion to down-ballot races. And we must recognize our 20 legislative district chairs. I am so proud of the work you are all doing in your districts and want to thank you for your leadership across the county and for your ongoing partnership with MCDP. And finally, I want to thank all of our donors, including our recurring donors and our circle of friends. You are an extraordinary group because you understand that an investment in the county party is an investment in local down ballot races. At this time, I want to take a moment of silence to remember the local Democratic leaders we have lost this year. They will be missed dearly. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. My team at the county thought I should share a little about myself. If you know me, you know I would rather talk about anything other than myself, but I will share that I'm a dual citizen of Canada and the United States. I became a US citizen in 2004 because my elementary age children were learning about elections and they were disappointed to learn that I couldn't vote. My journey to becoming a citizen was fairly quick and easy. It took me less than 5 months to apply and be sworn in. It is not lost on me that there are millions of young people that have been raised, educated, and hold jobs in the United States that should also be given an opportunity to become citizens in a respectful and straightforward process. I'm also the mother of 3 millennials who care deeply about Arizona. They are looking at the insane prices of housing, navigating after-job opportunities, and wondering how getting a vaccine that saves lives became a political talking point, and how the public education system they all grew up in will survive, given the partisan decisions being made by our Republican governor and legislature. That is the motivation behind why I became chair. And it is why I will spend more energy working to elect Democrats from the bottom of the ballot to the top over the next 15 months. A year ago, the county received devastating news. Our offices at the corner of Thomas and Central were destroyed by a firebomb. People from around the county, state, and country sent messages of hope and donations to help us rebuild. Despite this act of violence and the pandemic shutting down in-person events and most of our door-to-door voter outreach, we ran a campaign we should all be proud of. More voters were contacted by phone and text, more volunteers were engaged, and more money was raised than ever before. So where are we now? We are 1 year away from August primaries. And I don't think you can see me, but that's okay. The county is working with our legislative districts to identify and engage new Democratic voters. We know building an army of volunteers is exactly what we should be doing now. Let's identify potential volunteers, welcome them, tell them how they can help, and teach them how to knock doors and make phone calls. That's how we win. We are also working with our legislative districts on the best strategies for communicating their district messages, how to engage with the ever-growing number of candidates running for office, and how to fundraise to help their district candidates win. We are continuing our democratic infrastructure to build our democratic infrastructure in Maricopa County. Our current PC member numbers are now up to 1,615. We have already topped the previous record in 2020. We want to continue recruiting PCs that will invest in and help the county win down ballot. And if you're interested in volunteering with MCDP, please go to maricopadems.org/volunteer. We would love it if you would take action with us. As you can see on this slide, we had a record-breaking fundraising year in 2020, raising over $1 million. We believe, however, that elections are won during off years. We know that in order to implement a robust plan to win in 2022, it will take funding. What we raise in non-election years allows us to build our electorate, recruit candidates, But most importantly, educate our voters on why voting down ballot is so crucial. Maricopa County is still the #1 battleground county in the nation, and we have to invest now to see a positive return in 2022. We need 200 new recurring donors by the end of August. We're counting on you to become a monthly recurring donor to help us reach our 2021 fundraising goals. And our donation link is in the chat. And we need to talk just briefly about redistricting. As most of you know, the Arizona Independent Redistricting Commission has begun their work to draw new congressional and legislative district lines. This process involves public hearings. We have encouraged our members and all of you to attend these meetings and submit public comments. The County Board of Supervisors will be drawing new county lines and precinct lines in a separate process that will conclude before next July of 2022. And just to clarify, MCDP has not endorsed any candidates. However, there are candidates who sponsored the summer convention, and they have a few words for you. It is important for our audience to know that all of our candidates that filed with the Secretary of State's office were given the opportunity to sponsor our summer convention. Thank you to those who are running, and especially the candidates that are investing in Maricopa County, as we all know the importance of winning down ballot races. Our team will continue to monitor and update the county on all candidates that have filed. And in case you're wondering, we are looking for office space for the county party, so please stay tuned. After the candidate videos you're about to see, we will have our treasurer's report by Heather Maricopa. Thank you in advance, Heather.
Hello, Maricopa County Democrats. I'm Katie Hobbs, and I'm proud to be your Secretary of State and now a candidate for governor. We all know what a critical role Maricopa County will play in flipping the governor's office and the legislature, and I'm excited to work with you to do that. I'm running for governor to deliver accountability, transparency, and results for Arizonans. We can make Arizona the best state in the country to live, work, and raise a family. But we can only do that if we put our differences aside and start working on the issues that matter for all Arizonans. Our government can work for Arizona families, but only when our leaders are focused on working together rather than looking to score political points. You can count on me to stand up and do what's right, no matter the challenge. It's what I've done my full career, and I'm ready to win this race and get our state back on track.
Hi, Maricopa County Democrats. Marco Lopez here. I want to thank you for the incredible work you do to elect Democrats up and down the ticket. The work you put in now and your dedication to registering voters and getting them out to vote is exactly what we need to keep Arizona blue. Su dedicación y empeño es necesario para lograr un mejor futuro arizonense. Thank you again, and I look forward to working with all of you. And as we say here at the Lopez for Governor campaign, únete, join us.
Hey everybody, State Representative Aaron Lieberman here. I'm running to be the first Democrat elected governor in the state of Arizona in over 15 years. I just wanted to say congratulations to everybody at the Maricopa County Democratic Party on pulling off this amazing convention. We all know that you have been trailblazers in getting Democrats elected before anyone else could all throughout Maricopa County. We're going to emulate that and do it all in the state because we're all fighting for the same things. We need great schools for our kids, a booming economy, clean air and clean water, and access to high quality health care. We look forward to working with you all to make it happen. Thanks so much.
House Democratic Leader Reginald Boulding here, your candidate for Secretary of State. I want to first start by saying thank you to all of our Democrats here in Maricopa County for taking the time to join the summer convention. Because what we know here in Maricopa County and across Arizona is when we come together, there's nothing that we can't accomplish. In 2022, we're going to win races up and down the ballot.
And that only happens with people like you. Thank you for being here. Let's win this.
Hi, everybody. It's Adrian Fontes running for Arizona Secretary of State. MCDP, you guys are going to be critical to making sure that Arizona actually turns blue in November 2022. Let's get out there and make sure that we're knocking on doors, making the phone calls, making the donations, organizing, get your friends, get your neighbors, get everybody involved. MCDP is the crux of this, and I'm here to support all of the projects that you guys are going to be working on. Again, Adrian Fontes here, running for Arizona Secretary of State. Thank you for all of your support in the past. Thank you for supporting the future. Let's win that primary next August, and let's win in November of 22.
Hi, I'm Chris Mays, former Arizona Corporation Commissioner and candidate for Attorney General. I want to thank all Maricopa County Precinct Committee members, LD chairs, and volunteers for the amazing hard work that you put in 2020. I'm looking forward to meeting you and to working side by side with you as we protect the right to vote in 2022 and beyond. Together, we can and we will turn Maricopa County blue.
Hi, I'm Superintendent Kathy Hoffman. And first I want to say thank you so much for all that you do to help Democrats get elected up and down the ticket. As you may know, we're expecting baby Hoffman this November. And so when I say that Arizona's future starts in our schools, I can already picture my daughter as a preschool student in just a few years. So thank you for all that you do for making sure that our public education system is a priority for all of Arizona. And I hope you have a great convention.
Hello, Maricopa County Democrats, and thank you to Nancy Schreiber, your entire leadership team, for doing such a great job leading the most important county Democratic Party in the entire United States of America. I'm so happy to join you and share with you some of the important work that we are doing in Congress, work that makes a meaningful and tangible difference in the lives of people right here in Arizona. The past year, dealing with a global pandemic has been tough on all of us. And I've spent my time trying to make sure that everyone has the help they need to stay healthy and come out of this stronger than ever. Congress acted fast to approve new loans to help local businesses stay alive. And I've heard from so many small business owners right here in Maricopa County who tell me that they would have been forced to shut their doors forever if it weren't for Congress's help. And we approved billions for local governments to support public health and help people experiencing homelessness and housing insecurity and better address public safety issues that were made worse by the pandemic. I'm happy that Arizona's economy is healthy, and I wanted you to know that every time our Republican governor brags about investments in our economy, he's bragging about federal investments that are keeping us strong. And I'm also so proud to have joined President Biden in March to expand the child tax credit, which will cut our nation's child poverty rate in half. That's remarkable. And it's a tax credit that we must work to make permanent. And as much as we've accomplished, there is still so much more work for Congress to do. And let me tell you, we need the United States Senate to get to work. In the House, we've passed the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act to provide much needed reforms and create more accountability and transparency in policing. We've passed the Equality Act, which guarantees full civil rights protections for LGBTQ Americans. We passed H.R. 8, bipartisan background checks to better protect communities from gun violence. And we've passed the American Dream and Promise Act to create a path to citizenship for our dreamers. But every one of these important bills that would make a real difference in Arizona and throughout the country, is being blocked by the Senate. It's time we fix the filibuster, my friends. We cannot allow this relic of the Jim Crow era to continue to block civil rights in this era. And there's no better example of that than protecting our democracy. The House is working hard on H.R. 1, the For the People Act, and the John Lewis Voting Rights Act that strengthen and protects our sacred right to vote. I'm a proud co-sponsor of these imperative bills. Voting should be easier, not harder. And these bills would provide automatic voter registration, make Election Day a federal holiday so more Americans can participate in the process. It would stop unaccountable dark money from corrupting our politics and protect voting rights and election security. And we can't allow anyone, Republican or Democrat, to undermine our democracy and lead us down a path to autocracy. No Senate rule is worth preserving at that price. There is no challenge we cannot confront together. We know what we need to do. So Maricopa County Democrats, let's get to work. Thank you.
Thank you to our sponsors for all of their incredible support of our organization. We're going to get to do a lot of great work, and especially me, because I'm the one that has to process all their sponsorships. So thank you to all of them. My name is Heather Morawick. I am your treasurer, and we are going to move on to the most exciting part of the convention, math. We've had an exciting year, and in the first half of the year, through the end of June, we've received $114,000 in contributions from our supporters. We also were very fortunate to receive a grant from the Arizona Democrats of $68,000 to support our outreach programs. And we did have a large non-contribution income. We had our settlement from the insurance company from the fire. So we have raised $251,000 this year. Our disbursements right now are our payroll and administrative costs. Our cash on hand for the end of June was $209,585. So let's see if we can raise more of that during this meeting. Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Warren Stewart Jr. I am the co-chair with Carl Gentles for the Black Engagement Committee for the Maricopa Democratic Party. I'm so excited to be leading with Carl because we stand on the shoulders of Redeem Robinson, who started this committee, this much necessary committee in the party, and Dr. Judy Green and Garrett McFadden, who forwarded the legacy of this short committee that only started a few years ago and is now making a great impact in Arizona and Maricopa County. We're talking about moving from protest to power. That means these young voters who are out there protesting and being activists and forwarding justice and fighting systemic racism and voter suppression, and amongst many other things, we want to harness that energy and put it into political power, where we can change policy and enrich our communities and help people live thriving lives. Because the power really comes in the policy and the political offices that we are going to cultivate leadership for. So the Black Engagement Committee is an essential part of turning Arizona blue. So don't sleep on black. Wesley Snipes said, always bet on black. So we're going from the streets to the seats. I'm gonna turn it over to Carl because he's gonna give you our priorities and our vision in all the legislative districts and how we're gonna recruit more PCs to really make this moment a movement for all of us.
Warren, thank you. My name is Carl Gentles, co-chair of the Maricopa County Democratic Party's Black Engagement Committee. And it is my pleasure to serve with my friend, Warren Stewart Jr., as co-chairs of the Black Engagement Committee. We are building this committee and this party with the help of some really strong leadership of Dr. Judy Green, Garrett McFadden, Redeem Robinson, and a number of others on our executive committee. We're focused on 5 main things to help build this party. First is to recruit more African American precinct committee members. Second is to engage those voters across Maricopa County, African American voters across Maricopa County, to make sure that we engage them all cycle long and beyond, to make sure that they participate and they vote. Third is we're building relationships across every single legislative district. And you know that we have been to your meetings, and the meetings that we haven't been to yet, we will be there soon. Fourth is we're identifying African American leaders to serve in office, to recruit them to run for office. That is one of our main priorities. We need good leaders to step forward and serve. And then fifth, we are keeping an eye on policies that affect African American voters specifically, and Democrats and voters in general. And so those are our priorities. We are working hard every day for this party, for the Democratic Party, to build this blue wall, to make it stronger than ever. And we invite you to join our effort. We invite you to support the Black Engagement Committee, and we thank you very much. And as Warren Stewart said, from protest to power is what we're doing at the Black Engagement Committee. Take care.
I got a phone call. The voice was quite young. It was from Altoona, Pennsylvania. And the person said, thanks. And you've got to elect gay people so that that young child and the thousands and thousands like that child know that there's hope for a better world. There's hope for a better tomorrow. Without hope, not only gays, but those blacks, the Asians, the disabled, the seniors, the us's. Without hope, the us's give up. I know that you cannot live on hope alone, but without it, life is not worth living. And you gotta give them hope. Thank you.
Voting is about stories. The Voter Registration Committee story begins with registering eligible voters in the largest battleground county. Help us write the story of a successful 2022 midterm election season. Be a superhero. Get involved with our upcoming events.
National Voter Registration Day is September 28th. During that week, join us in scheduling and conducting voter registration drives on college campuses. Get involved by volunteering and donating. National Voter Registration Day is only 58 days away. Cape up and be a superhero volunteer. Join the LGBTQ and Voter Registration Committee to fund and conduct a voter registration at the Phoenix Pride Festival and Parade. This 2-day event is November 6th and 7th from noon to 9 p.m. Please be a superhero and donate and volunteer. Go to the MCDP website and complete the voter registration, volunteer, and donation forms.
This summer, we joined Adelante Healthcare and St. Mary's Food Bank to launch Kids Cafe, a summer lunch program, and distributed over 700 meals and registered many adults. Add your superpowers as we expand this program. Complete the form and we will contact you.
Do not let them take away your power. Do not let them take away your democracy. Make a plan right now for how you are going to get involved and vote. Do it as early as you can and tell your family and friends how they can vote too.
The time is now. Voting, it's your superpower. Communicate, coordinate, and conduct voter registration in the largest battleground county in the country. Join the Voter Registration Committee now. Voting, it's your superpower.
Hello, everyone. I am Imelda Ojeda. I am the chair of the Latino Outreach Committee for MCDP. Even in the middle of a challenging year, 2020 and 2021, the LOC has remained committed to advancing the Maricopa Democrats' goals in the Latino community and ensuring representation within the party. As we embark in a new journey under the leadership of a new executive director and board chair, we are excited to continue providing a platform and a space for legislative districts, candidates, PCs, and community members to connect, share resources, and stay updated on what is happening in our community. Over the last months, we have created a progressive values training with the purpose of educating, encouraging, and guiding individuals who would like to get involved in the progressive movement but are not sure on where to start. This training will be shared with legislative districts leadership as a tool they can use and implement in their own districts. We continue expanding our membership, and we invite all of you to join our monthly meetings via Zoom on the third Wednesday of the month at 5 p.m. Very soon, we will also resume our networking events in person, and we're excited to see all of you there. You can follow us on social media and stay connected on what is happening with the LOC at Latino Outreach MCDP on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you for all you do, and we'll hope to see you soon.
Can you see why we're so excited about our county committees? Thank you to our 13 county committee chairs who have worked hard to create inclusive committees to represent our diverse communities across Maricopa. Please check out our website to see if there's a committee that calls your name. I would like to introduce our Secretary of State, Katie Hobbs, who will speak about building the electorate in Maricopa County. Welcome, Secretary Hobbs.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here with all of you today. Thanks so much for having me. So I was just going to share a little bit about what our office is doing with voter registration, some of what we've done to try to streamline the process and make it easy as possible to register voters and for voters to register, and then how we're working with other community registration groups. But I wanted to start with the registration numbers. Now, our office puts out a quarterly report of updated voter registration numbers, and you can find all of those at our website, azsos.gov. I think they're under media, but if you just follow us on Twitter, it's Secretary Hobbs, it's a verified account, then you can get access to that report every quarter very much more easily than searching for it on my website. But I'm gonna drop the link for this quarter's report in the chat as soon as I can, because I can't multitask and talk and try to type at the same time. But we are keeping steady in terms of voter registration and the percentages that are Republican versus independent versus Democratic, and really maintaining that third ratio, and that remains the same for both the state and in Maricopa County. So the latest numbers have Republicans at 1,587,331. Democrats are 1,468,864. And then for Maricopa County, the difference is it's 959,684 Republicans, 875,004 Democrats. Now, I want to point out a very important thing, and this includes active and inactive voters. And our report also always includes that. And I just want to clarify what the distinction is there and why it's so important when you're having voter registration conversations with individuals that you're emphasizing the importance of checking their voter registration status. And Arizonans can do that at arizona.vote. Maricopa County also has a specific way to do that for Maricopa County voters. Folks sometimes get put on the inactive list without knowing that. They're there, and it's not something that kicks them off the rolls, but it might make it harder to vote. And so we encourage people to check their status all the time, especially if they've moved, just to make sure that their voter registration is up to date. Again, Arizona.vote is the place where voters can do that. So I just want to quickly talk about what we've done in terms of voter registration. When I got to office in 2019, I felt like I had an imperative to do everything we could to make sure we were removing barriers to voter registration. That is really half the battle that we're facing in terms of our voters. So the first thing we did was streamline the paper registration form so it's much easier for people to fill out. We worked on implementing the settlement to the League of Women Voters lawsuit that had to do with basically automatic updates to your voter registration. And so now if you are moving and you're changing your information on your driver's license, it is going to opt you out of changing your voter registration form instead of you having to opt in. And that is as pretty darn close to automatic voter registration as we can get. And the beauty of that is that the motor vehicle database doesn't know if you're a registered voter or not. And so every person who's changing their driver's license is going to get that opt-out option no matter what. And so if they're not already registered, it's going to register them unless they opt out. The other thing we did was wanted to streamline for organizations that are doing voter registration and make it easier for online voter registration in that regard, because that saves a whole heap of trouble in so many regards. One is the voter registration organizations don't have to worry about processing all that paper, neither do the county recorders. And for the voter, they're getting an automatic confirmation right at the time that their voter registration was accepted. And so online voter registration is the easiest tool to be able to do that. And so we created a unique URL program, and there was a URL available for each party. So the Arizona Democratic Party has one that I'm sure you all are registering voters under, as well as third-party nonpartisan organizations doing voter registration. And what that URL allows them to do is get their voters registered online instead of on paper. And then we are able to send them a monthly report with the data that they want to be able to utilize to track their voters. So that being said, not everyone is able to register online. So that's our next big thing that we want to tackle, is improving the online voter registration so that it can be utilized by more registrants, not just those who have driver's license or other motor vehicle issued ID. The other thing we did during the election, it was a little bit controversial, but we created a voter registration assistance hotline, and that was to help voters, particularly in remote areas that didn't have access to online voter registration and weren't able to get to a recorder's office to either get a paper registration form or turn in their paper registration form. And so we created that hotline and were able to assist a few voters really close to the voter registration deadline for the November election, primarily that impacted Navajo Nation registrants. So that's the work we've been doing on voter registration. We're going to continue that, especially where I talked about making online voter registration accessible to more people. And then we also have the Voter Outreach Advisory Committee that we established. More than 20 people representing several diverse community organizations, students, the NAACP, Mi Familia Vota, the Intertribal Council, to name a few. And they're focused on outreach, which includes voter registration outreach and voter engagement outreach to typically underrepresented communities in the state. And in 2020, our focus was largely on young people, and we did several voter registration events, mostly virtual, but some in person, and we're continuing that effort as well. I don't want to overstep my time, but I will just say, I don't want to talk about the fraud it anymore, but just to say that we know it's being used as a tool to continue to undermine voters' confidence in our elections. And I cannot say enough, every voter in Arizona can be confident that the elections in 2020 were secure and fair, and the results we certified were accurate. And anything to the contrary is just made up stuff. And at Arizona.vote, which I already mentioned, and I'll put that in the chat as well, we did set up a Mythbuster page. And so if you hear these conspiracy theories that are flying around, that's where you can get the accurate information, as well as many other useful tools. So thanks so much for having me. Excited to continue working to build our voter numbers in the next election cycle. And thank you for all that you're doing in that regard as well.
Thank you so much, Secretary of Hobbs. That was terrific information. Please welcome Lucy Marshall, the Chair of Legislative District 28, to discuss building our relationships and volunteer base. Welcome, Chairwoman.
Thank you, Nalexia and Nancy, the Executive Board and staff, for providing me with an opportunity to speak to Maricopa Democrats. These meetings are often thought-provoking, and I'm excited to be included as a speaker. I am Lucy Marshall, the Chair of Legislative District 28. I got involved and have stayed involved specifically because of the relationships I've developed. I see moral, accessible, and forward-thinking legislators and candidates. I see passionate and knowledgeable volunteers, and I see experienced, smart leadership. I know I can learn from this group and that my time and effort is not wasted. It's a group I'm proud to be associated with. I think I was asked to speak to you today because our district has been hugely successful, but I'm not going to talk about that today. I want to talk about coming up short and not meeting expectations, about failure. Because while knowledge and data and plans are crucial, they do cause us to focus on numbers as definitions of success. And before we take any action, we all think about this, don't we? It could be daunting to get started and exhausting to continue with the pressure of high expectations. So how has LD 28 failed? One of my first projects was a dessert and champagne fundraiser borrowed from another LD where it had been highly successful. We raised very little money and few new people attended. We have repeatedly, for years, tried to increase our PCs in a few key precincts, and we still have 8 precincts with 0 PCs. We often have events designed to increase representation. I'm thinking specifically of our LGBTQ community, of our Black community, Latino community, and our community of young people. We dream of having lots of new faces who not only connect with our LD, but having our events facilitate individual connections within these communities. Our events have been well attended, but they fall far short of these highest expectations. At some canvases in the past, LD 28 has brought out more than 100 people. We have also had canvases with 5 people. By a lot of objective measures, these are not stellar results. I've just listed how many ways LD 28 has failed, yet we did flip a House seat in 2018 and a Senate seat in 2020. What was happening during all of these attempts to increase volunteers and voters that maybe helped us get to this successful final outcome? Well, events were happening. Volunteers were working together and having fun. We were sharing ideas with others. A single new attendee may have told 5 more people about an informative meeting that she attended. Potential volunteers were invited to meet and talk to their representatives. Potential voters read the names of their reps on a flyer dropped at their door. The whole community saw Democrats run a blood drive, collect food, and vaccinate the unhoused during the pandemic. We focused on our relationships with each other and with our neighbors. And in the end, we are continually increasing our volunteers and voters through action, events, and a warm embrace into our community. But we need short-term data-driven successes to keep going, right? Absolutely. Often and most definitely, yes. And data is crucial to identifying voter trends and areas of need. But I would argue that our relationships are a much more satisfying way to help keep us going. We are energized by collaborating with our partner organizations such as MCDP and ADP and enjoy learning from each other. We not only work and socialize with others, but actively, frequently invite more people to join us. Most of us are volunteers, and we choose to spend our time doing what we do because of the people we work with. Whether what you do is considered a success or a failure, when the relationships are good, it turns out you can elect Democrats to the state legislature. Thanks so much for listening.
Thank you so much, Lucy, for those wonderful words. And finally, please welcome our 2020 candidate for County Attorney, Julie Gunnigal, to discuss building our bench of qualified candidates. Welcome, Julie. You're muted.
That's so much. Hi, y'all. Coming to you live actually from Pima County, where we're out here expunging cannabis convictions because you, the voters, approved those second chances here on the November ballot. And I'm here to talk just real brief, the endless audit, the endless pandemic, this grift that is happening in our state. Because as you know, several months ago, our County Board of Supervisors voted not to appeal the ruling for this to continue. And it is two votes, y'all, whether it be Whitney Walker, Jevin Hodge, Deidre Boot, or Suzanne Story, that would have made the difference in ending this fraudulent audit. When we talk about endless pandemics, just last month, our state legislature ruled that we cannot even as school districts take the most basic virus mitigation efforts and ensure one vote in the state house and two in the Senate that would have made that difference. In the last months, we have seen the endless grift and abuse of power on the county level, where we've seen that there have been political prosecutions and lives destroyed when our Black Lives Matter protesters were charged as gang affiliates for doing nothing more than exercising their First Amendment rights. And it is a 1% vote that would have made the difference in all of those lives who were charged and ended up in our criminal legal system as a result. These local elections matter, and they matter in many instances more than our federal and national elections. And it is vital that we build the bench and that we have the team necessary in order to run and win. And I just wanted to let you know that I loathe that metaphor first. I mean, it works on some levels, building a bench, right? Because as Democrats, we should be working as a team and we work together. And there is no team more effective at running low and cultivating talent within our community than the Maricopa County Democratic Party. This is the team that makes the difference in these vital local matters. And this is the team to support. The Maricopa County Democratic Party knows that if we have to build long-term power in our state, it is these local offices that matter most. But building the bench also doesn't work on some levels because it implies that are sitting down, that they are waiting our turn. And let me tell you, as a candidate, that is definitely not the way that this works. Your average candidate is going to run 2.6 times before they achieve local office. This is not a group that's even sitting down, that is waiting in the wings. You're going to find the talent that we need to change our state, not sitting and waiting. You're going to find us marching in. You're going to find us teaching in your classrooms. You're going to find us in your courtrooms working for justice, as EMTs working on the front line. And those are the folks and the talent that we need to cultivate and create. And this party, this group of people is truly the future of Arizona. So 2 quick things before my time is up. First, if you are contemplating running for local office and you are waiting for a sign, this is the sign that you're looking for. It is time for you to win. And if you are someone who is contemplating how they can help, the answer is equal as clear. You need to support your local party, and there is no one as equipped to make sure that our candidates are well supported on the local level than this one. The future of this party, the future of the state is on this phone call right now, and we need your support.
Thank you so much, Julie, for those wonderful words to get us going. I appreciate that so much. It is my pleasure to introduce our Executive Director of MCDP, Nalexia Galloway. I'm so grateful for her experience, dedication, and tremendous planning skills. It's hard to believe we've only been at this for 3 months. I can't wait to see what we do next. Welcome, Nalexia.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nalexia Galloway, and I'm the new Executive Director of the Maricopa County Democratic Party. I'm excited about leading the county with our chair, Nancy Schreiber. She has been incredible in my transition. I want to personally thank my predecessor, Maritza Miranda-Sines, as she created a foundation that we can continue to build for years to come. She left big shoes to fill, but I'm happy to know she is always a call away. I know so many of you in the county, but for those that I have not had the pleasure of personally meeting, I look forward to meeting you in person real soon. When I was a child, I would spend the summers in Arkansas with my grandparents. There were many things that I learned during my summers, but it was something about picking, peeling, and slicing peaches that stuck with me. We would make peach preserves and take the peach scraps to make peach jelly. In 2008, like many of you, I was excited about President Obama's campaign. That was short-lived, as I was a freshman in college in rural Texas, and there had been many planned attacks and death threats on Black students at the university if Barack Obama won. My university made the decision to excuse Black students from class and have them return home to their respective cities for their safety. I knew then that the fight for inclusion would be a long haul, which is why I created a scholarship endowment for students that now provide scholarships for 4 students a year. My DNA survived the Middle Passage, slavery, prostitution, rape, torture, and Jim Crow, all for me to become the first Black woman to lead the county as the executive director. So for me, telling you what degrees I hold or my previous work experience didn't suffice, as I was taught at a young age how to make products out of scraps, and I learned how to be successful in rural Republican Texas. Maricopa County, nice to officially meet you as the executive director. I'm excited about the now, and the now is creating a sustainable plan for the Maricopa County Democratic Party. In December of 2020, Maritza talked about changes, identifying what works for the county and how we need to move forward implementing different strategies. In 2021, Republicans have shown how relentless they will be when it comes to suppressing the right to vote. And they have shown that they will invest millions of dollars to support the frauded. Maricopa County, it is on us. Our voters matter, our history matters, and we have to fight for democracy. In 2020, the priorities were clear: to turn out low efficacy and new Democratic and Democratic-leaning voters, engage communities of color, and promote local candidates. In 2021, our priorities of building our bank accounts, building our electorate, building a bench of qualified candidates, and building our volunteer base has not changed. The how has been defined. We have developed 2 strategies to move the county forward in the non-election year. In 2020, Maritza started a cohort of school board candidates who the county worked with for training, as well as partnership in phone banks and literature drops. She knew then how important the fight for education would be. For years, Republicans have made it their mission to destroy public education. Race has always been at the center of issues between Democrats and Republicans, with both parties using it to their advantage when speaking to their bases. Once again, we are witnessing Republicans use race to achieve their agenda by pushing the narrative of critical race theory that further divides our public school systems. School board members are receiving death threats. School board meetings are being disrupted in Scottsdale, Litchfield Park, Chandler, and Peoria school districts. This fight is not just for the parents that have students in these school districts, but for the community that believes in the future workforce of Arizona. This is all our fight, and the county is prepared to fight for public education. We have created the Future Leaders of Arizona project. FLOW is a project that will recruit, train, and support leaders to run for school and college board positions in Maricopa County. This project is only for first-time candidates that are running for school and college board. We have the opportunity to foster an environment of equity and invest in future leaders. This program is not designed as a stepping stone to the next thing. It is for parents, aunts, cousins, coaches, teachers, grandparents, anybody that will have the courage to fight for young people. If you know of anyone that will fight like hell to protect our most vulnerable population, please send them to the county. We're looking for 18 new candidates across the county. Our target areas are Scottsdale, Chandler, Gilbert, Peoria, Avondale, and Glendale. Please stay tuned for the launch of the project. 2020 was a rough year for the county. We know that we have to create a sustainable future in order for Democrats to be successful. We have to educate our base on the importance of voting down ballot. And most importantly, we have to give Democrats a reason to turn out to vote. Thanks to our wonderful treasurer, Heather, we have developed our down ballot message. Are you ready? It's simple, it's fun, and it's catchy. Our message to our voters is bottoms up. We want our voters voting from the bottom of the ballot to the top of the ballot in every election. The Bottoms Up campaign is a hybrid of small grassroots donors and individuals that will commit to issue-based organizing for the county. We have to continue to show up long after the George Floyd protests and sentencing of Derek Chauvin. Our base is struggling to survive, with a lot of people living paycheck to paycheck. We're still in a pandemic with the Delta variant on the rise. We cannot continue to take our people for granted and hope they turn out to vote for us. We have to invest in our people and our communities every day and not just leading up to Election Day, which is why the Bottoms Up campaign is so crucial to our success in 2022 and 2024. We're excited to have Brianna Valencia leading the campaign, and the county looks forward to sharing more information with you all regarding the kickoff. Maricopa County. We are headed in the right direction. We have specific and attainable goals. We will elect more Democrats to our school boards. We will get Democrats out to vote. We will empower our voters to vote down ballot. We will have a blue county. In 2022, we have some important elections. Education is on the ballot, healthcare is on the ballot, and water is on the ballot. Most of the races for the county in 2022 are nonpartisan positions. The Maricopa County Community College District has 3 seats, 1 at large, and the other positions are in County District 3 and 4. We have open seats across the county in all 58 of our school board districts. Maricopa County Special Healthcare Board, also known as Valleywise, will have 2 seats, 1 in District 3 and 1 in District 4. Woody Thomas, who opened in the convention earlier, will be running for his seat again in District 4. Central Arizona Project, also known as CAP, has 5 positions that they will be electing for, and we also have the Maricopa County Clerk of Superior Court. As you can see, we have a lot of opportunities to be successful in 2022. It is on us to build the blue county that we want. So if you or you know someone that would be a great representative for any of these positions, please reach out. I want to leave you with my favorite Nguza Saba principle. Nguza Saba is Swahili and it means principle. There are 7 principles of African culture that is celebrated during Kwanzaa. And my favorite principle is Kumba, meaning creativity. So always do as much as we can in the way that we can in order to leave our communities more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it. Maricopa County, can I count on you to ensure that we leave Maricopa County more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it? Maricopa County, I believe in you. I know that we can do it. We just have to invest now. I would like to welcome a man who needs no introduction. He devoted 12 years to serving on the board of Maricopa County Democratic Party, served as the chair for 5 years, and who has led the county through an incredible time of change and growth. Please welcome Stephen Slagaki.
All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you, Alexia, for the wonderful introduction. I greatly appreciate it. It is wonderful to be here today. Thank you, Nancy, for everything that you are doing since I stepped down 7 months ago. You have done a tremendous job, and I'm so proud of you, the entire board. And Alexia, you're hitting a home run everywhere you guys go. This is a phenomenal convention, and I want to thank everybody for being here again. So please just join me very quickly in just thanking Nancy and Alexia and all of the incredible work that they do day in and day out to make Maricopa County the strongest county party in the United States. So, I just want to say it's wonderful to be here today. Again, I'm here today to make an important ask of every single one of you. As you know, Maricopa County is the largest battleground county district or county in the United States, and we have an incredible responsibility. With the eyes of the country looking on Maricopa County, we must rise to the challenges that we face every single day. And in 2021, MCDP has risen to the occasion every single time. A new chair, a new board, new staff members have all stepped up to the plate. However, one thing I can tell you that I've always admired about MCDP, and I know you all do as well, is the commitment to local races. That in order to have long-term success, we must build our bench at the local level and leave no races unchallenged for. There's no reason we should not be challenging for every single race in Maricopa County. These local candidates may not make national headline news, but they make important decisions every day, as we're seeing in our local school boards and local elections every day, while fighting back of the failed policies of Doug Ducey and the Republican legislature. So that is why it's important that we work on this. We must flip the school boards from Chandler to Avondale to Scottsdale to Paradise Valley. We have so much that we have to do, and we have about 15 months before we've got to do this. The mission of MCDP is simple and yet so critical and necessary. If you want change, if you want a better state, I need you to step up and support the Maricopa County Democratic Party. They're working with all 20 legislative districts. They're registering voters. They're setting goals. They're recruiting. They're training new candidates. In the years since Maritza, our phenomenal executive director from 2020, who did an amazing job, and I want to thank, just a side note, thank you, Maritza, for everything you did in 2020. But and she only instituted this a year ago, and look where we're at in a year already. And this is, imagine what we can do in 2 years under Alexia and Nancy. Imagine what we can do in the next 2 years. We have so much work to do, and we need your support today to do it. Let's build a bench. Let's change our state for the better. Let's make our county a progressive city that works for everyone, for better jobs, better schools, better communities. We need your help. Whether you donate monthly or a one-time donation, we need your support. Now, in the past, I've cried. I'm going to try not to cry today. I'm going to do my best. And Jade, thank you for putting that in the notes. But I want to see, are there any LDs that can step up right now and help support the incredibly important and critical work of the Maricopa County Democratic Party? Who can help me out? Please put it in the chat right now. And Alexia is going to put it in the chat as well, the link. So please, if you're going to put it in the chat, please make sure that you put it in there so that I can say it and say who's going to do that and step up. And I want to thank you guys again. My home district, LD15, again, I'm a precinct committee member in LD15. They are going to donate $250. My home district, thank you so much. LD24, they are proud to support the amazing team with MCD, a donation of $500. $500, LD24, thank you so much. LD1, $500, that's incredible. Thank you, LD1. LD23, Scottsdale, Fountain Hills, they're doing tremendous work. $500, amazing. LD18, the great LD18, the biggest district in Arizona, $500. Thank you, Allison Porter. Thank you so much. LD26, Judy, $100 from the great work of the LD26 Dems that are all over Tempe, Salt River, Mesa. LD26, I know you're going to lead the way in 2022 as well. Eric Shelley, LD20, will contribute $100 for each tear that comes out of my eyes, up to $500. So let's see how high we can go, and we'll see how much we're going to cry today. I know that's what I'm famous for crying on these events, but let's see what we can do. LD20, thank you so much. Alexia has put the donation link in there again, so please help us out. Again, this is a phenomenal convention. This has been, I think we can all agree, this is the best convention. It's so well run, and it's a work. And Eder, I know you're behind the scenes doing this work, so thank you, Eder, for everything that you're doing. LD28 is donating $500. LD28, thank you so much. On behalf of LD30, we've got a monthly contributor. LD30, thank you so much. LD16, Sharon Snard, $250. Dr. Jure Peden, LD4, donates $100. I'm trying to see all the LD25, $250. Thank you for the incredible work that Ian is doing, and everybody in LD25. LD19, Vice Chair Roman Sierra, LD19 is giving $100. Thank you so much. The link is in the panel again. Sorry, I know I'm getting the messages. I'm not going to cry yet. Don't worry. Sorry, Jade. To Sherry Tomlinson, $250. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. The Penny Sharon family, $500. Penny, thank you so much. Incredible. Alejandro Larios, I miss you, buddy. You're doing an incredible job on the board. LD15, $250. Thank you so much. So let's see, here we got. So I want to thank you guys. So please continue to make those donations. We have got to hit our goal today. Mark, a new resident of Scottsdale, $100. I'm going to put in that. I'm going to put in, you know what? I'm going to put in $100 myself right now. I'm going to make sure that I'm a big supporter. I'm going to walk my talk. I'm going to make sure I'm a donor. So please step up, continue to donate. If you want me to cry, if you want me to make that happen. But again, the work of the Maricopa County Democratic Party is so vitally critical. They're the only organization that is focused 100% on these elections. Nobody else is. And I want to thank them for what they're doing. And again, Alexia mentioned it earlier, we don't get money from the national party. We don't get any money from the federal. This is all local races. It goes to local. We only work with local candidates, local unions. It's an incredible job that we do. CJ Carenza, a $500 CJ Carenza. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. That's very, very nice. I want to thank all of you guys again. Show my baby. We have a request for my son, and he is 2.5 now. He actually made his debut 2 years ago at the summer convention. Come here, Cody. $250 from Pat. Thank you. Terry Gunn, the wonderful former chair for LD13. We have an anonymous donation from a PC in LD28 for $100. I'm going to do something here that nobody do. Look at, he's 2.5 now. My son, I want to build a better future for my son. I want to build a better school system for my son and keep Kathy Hoffman as our state superintendent. We want to make local school boards and our local races impact his life, because I want to give him a better life. And that's why I'm doing this. That's why it's so important to support the work of the Maricopa County Democratic Party. Thank you so much for allowing me to do that. LD 001 precinct, $25. Carol Moss, $100 from my former first vice chair. Carol Moss, the best first vice chair I've ever had. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Janet Lingerneal, $100. Thank you so much. $200 from Janet and Whit Johnson. Keep those donations coming, guys. If you want to join the circle of friends, please reach out to Alexia or Alexia or Nancy. It is $1,000 for the year or $85 a month. It is so critical. You get access to private events with donations and with elected officials. Thank you so much. I miss you guys all as well. I truly do miss you all. And I hope that the winter convention, we can be in person. So please get vaccinated because I really miss you guys and I want to be in person. And I want to give everybody a huge, huge hug. So keep these coming. If there's more donations coming through, if my math, okay. we are near $7,000 according to Jade. We got to get a little higher. We got a little higher. Sherry Tomlinson, LD 22, $250. Fountain Hills, LD 23, another $50. CJ Carenza is going to step up and he's going to do $1,000. He is going to be our new circle member. Unbelievable. CJ, you are the man. Thank you so much. Connie Campbell, PC and LD1, another $100. Judith, what do we got here? $120 recurring monthly. Unbelievable. Amazing. You guys are really stepping up. $100. Hold on. I'm trying to keep up here. $100 from LD18 from the National Board Certified Retired Educator on behalf of my son and Arizona kids. Thank you so much. Jade Duran. Jade, we've crossed $7,000. Brandy, $22 for $22. $22 for 2022. You know, if you want to contribute and you want to see Maricopa County continue to be the most successful and strongest county party in the United States, $22 a month. You know, skip that Starbucks 3 or 4 times a month, donate to the party. Look at the incredible job that Nancy is doing and Alexia and the entire team at MCDP. I promise 2022 is going to be a historic year if we can continue to invest in our local party. Brandy, $22 for 2022, LD12, thank you so much. Susan, we got $100 from Susan Wilson from LD23. Lynn Ogburn, $100. Lynn, I miss you so much. Cindy, LD28, $120. I'm sorry, $100. I'm going to lose my voice here. Kim, we got $50. More to come. Thank you so much. Lisa Malaka, $100 from the LGBT community vice chair. Amazing, amazing. Are there any other LDs out there? I think we're JRSPC and LD team, $50 today, and she's going to do $30 monthly. That's amazing. Carrie Good, LD12, $100. Amazing. Carrie, I know you, I miss you. I miss all the great work that you guys are doing. Kathy Hosian, $22 for 22. Thank you so much. Mary Greer, LD23, $100. The county is growing so fast. The margin for victory is so small here that every dollar you donate can make the difference. Look how close we came to winning Whitney Walker, Jevin Hodge, Julie, Adrian, all of our amazing county candidates. If we would have just, we were so close last year, but I know next year we can continue to make that success. We're over $8,000 here. I don't know, I think we're out of time. But again, $100, Denise Flynn, first vice chair, Veteran Outreach Committee, the veteran, you know, look at these incredible committees, the incredible committee work that is being done that is changing our county forever. So if you're on one of these committees, thank you for stepping up. Thank you for leading the charge, because these committees are so wonderful, and you guys have done such a great job with these. Okay, hold on, sorry, I'm gonna miss this. Luis, $100 from Canyon Precinct. Brenda, LD18, $100, LD18. I know your LD18 is gonna lead the way to some big wins no matter what happens next year with redistricting. I know LD18 is a stronghold, and they're gonna keep that solid blue district. LD24 was gonna rise up the donation from $500 all the way up to $750. LD24, Deborah, you're the best. You guys have a great board. Thank you, LD24, for what you're doing. Alex Cardona, LD12 chair, $100. Alex, thank you so much. I know LD12 is working extremely hard, and you guys are doing a really great deal. You know, again, there's going to be, you know, we mentioned here, we're going to be looking for some, I say we, I'm not we anymore. The county party is going to be looking for some new space here coming up soon. Again, obviously, we don't have space after the fire bombing incident a year ago. So, you know, this is every dollar again is going to go. Leisure World, $100. Leisure World Democratic Club. You guys are an amazing group, $100. $100 recurring for me, recurring, $10 a month. Judith, thank you so much. $100, Scott from LD20. Yes, you are we. Yes, I still say the word we, even though I've been, make Stephen cry. I gotta tell you, I've been involved in every convention since 2008. And I'm just honored to be here again. Thank you guys for allowing me, Nancy and Alexia. Thank you for the incredible honor of doing this. I'm so passionate about the work that you guys are doing. Okay, okay, Paul and Carolyn White, LD15, $20 monthly. Jade says we're at $9,500, and she will slap me live on Facebook Live. Okay, thank you, best friend Jade. I appreciate that. Patty, let's reach $10,000. We have $500 to go. $500 to go. Who's going to help me get that $500? We're at $10,000. Okay. We got $500 to go, and I got about 1 minute before I'm going to get pulled off the stage here. So who, $100. Ben Graff, $100. $100 to see Steve Slaps live. Oh, thank you, Ben. I appreciate that, buddy. I'll remember that when you ask me to put up signs for you next year. Anonymous donation from LD24, $500. We have crossed $10,000. Amazing. You guys are the best. This is the best county party in the country, and I'm so proud of you guys. Jessica Gronberg, another $50. Nancy Salaya, $500. $500, Nancy. Thank you so much. $100, Laura Ginsburg, LD18. Amy from LD17, $50. LD17. We've got to get Jennifer Pollock reelected again. We've got to make sure we, excuse me, that we get all of the LD17 flip blue. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. Jade, we've made it. Jade is not going to beat me up now. Nancy is going to let me keep my job here. We have crossed over $10,000. You guys are the absolute best. Again, thank you guys. I am honored. I miss you guys so much. It was the honor of my lifetime to be the chair for the best county party in the world. And I'm so honored that Nancy has continued the work, and she has exceeded. She's doing such an incredible job, and she made a fantastic hire with Nalexia. Nalexia's doing great, and Eder and Laura and everybody at Team MCDP. JDH, you're the man. I miss you. I miss signing those PC forms. The board of MCDP, I miss you guys, and I love you. You guys, thank you so much. I make sure I didn't miss anything. Rosie Lopez, $100 from LD28. Rosie, thank you so much. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I'm going to kick it. We passed it. We did it, guys. I'm going to cry later, but thank you so much. I hope we can get together in December and I could do this and cry in front of all of you guys. Thank you guys so much. I am going to kick it back to the fantastic, amazing chair of the Maricopa County Democratic Party. I love you all. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your donations. You guys are the best.
Oh my God, there would be a roar of clapping, Stephen, if we were all together. Thank you so much. You did an amazing job. And I am so grateful for your friendship and your guidance. And I think I finally forgiven you for pushing me into this job. But yeah. No, it's been great. It's been an incredible 7 months. And thank you to all of you. That was just so generous and kind. And we hope that you, learned a lot from our convention today. I certainly did. And thank you to all of the speakers. I'm just sorry nobody got a huge round of applause. I, again, want to thank all of you for being here today. We are right on target. So I hope that all of you will stay. Very few of you have hopped off, and I'm so grateful for that. We do want you to see Allison Porter and Beth Lewis and Kaylin Fodder to talk about their incredible initiatives and referenda, and to tell you how to get petitions. We have a very tiny window in which to do that. So we hope when I adjourn this meeting that you will stay on. And just some final comments. We're thrilled to know you're fighting with us to elect Democrats who will change Arizona and reflect our values of diversity, equity, and inclusion. You all know we can't take anything for granted. You proved that today. The hard work is on all of our shoulders, and I know that we are strong enough to build the future we want. And as again, please stay on the meeting after we adjourn. And do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
This is Heather Morawick. I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Heather. Is there a second?
Hi, this is Alejandro Larios, and I second.
Thank you, Alejandro. Without objection, this meeting is adjourned. And now we are going to turn the meeting over to Arizona Deserves Better. I believe it's Allison Porter. Or Kaylin Fodder or Beth Lewis. I think you're all panelists.
Can you hear me now and see my slides?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to do this really quick. I know you've all been here a long time. You probably have heard about Arizona Deserves Better. It's a group that is doing 3 referendums to protect Arizona's democracy. The 3 referendums are SB 1485, also called the Pebble Purge. One of the things it does is renames the permanent early voter list to the active early voter list. The wording in there states that they're going to remove those who don't vote in all elections in 2 cycles. And there's a lot of confusion about the wording. And I don't know about you, but the legislators who passed this, I don't want them to revise it next year. Let's just get rid of it by getting enough signatures on a referendum. Couple of quick facts. 76% of Arizona voters are on Pebble, and 88% of the votes in 2020 were cast by mail. Well, actually by permanent early voter ballots. So that is how most people vote. HB 2569 is the second referendum. It is, we refer to it as election defunding because our legislators don't provide enough for elections in every county in Arizona. The wording on it says no grants for election expenses. It doesn't say that exactly, but we were sent federal money to help with additional election expenses in 2020 that was returned. There was a foundation that made a grant, and the Navajo Nation, for example, was able to get more staff and do more voter education, get voter drop boxes, and the Navajo Nation spans multiple counties. That would not have been doable in 2020 without that foundation making that grant. And our legislators said no more. The third one is SB 1819, which allows printing, anti-fraud. They talk about special inks, and the problem with that, that first of all, there's no fraud. Second of all, it could identify ballot and really be that threat to ballot secrecy. It also does, it's part of the budget reconciliation bills. One of the parts in there that we're referring is that the Game and Fish can register voters, the Game and Fish Department. It also does a really interesting thing about the Secretary of State limiting her ability to defend election and election-related stuff, that turning it over to the Attorney General, at least until the end of Katie Hobbs' term. So that's just really interesting. So basically, you know, we need to get signatures to stop those bills from becoming law in 90 days, which would be September 29th. I am sharing this information with you because I am really passionate. I believe the referendum also provides us with a number of opportunities. PCs and volunteers, we're encouraging them to reach out. We're starting to build our base. This is an urgent situation that is motivating people to reach out. And we're targeting Democrats with a Dem support score of over 90. And asking for signatures on multiple petitions is not something that you probably want to do going door to door, but asking these Democrats to sign, it allows us to have expanded conversations and invite them to be volunteers, and then to develop leadership qualities and have them become PCs. And so a lot of that, I believe, is going to help us grow our get out the vote teams. So a lot of times what comes up is people worry about carrying 3 referendum petitions. I don't suggest that you do. If we just reach out to those strong Dems, we're going to get a lot of signatures. And the challenge of getting votes on 3 propositions on the ballot, well, I'll tell you what, we are all committed here in Maricopa County to go down ballot. The propositions are going to be down ballot. And by inviting all of these strong Dems, some of whom have not been engaged with us before, that is going to make a difference in helping us go all the way down ballot and get these referendums done. And the fact that we have such a short time frame, 90 days, oops, scratch that, we're down to 60 days. So it is definitely, there is an urgent need. In Maricopa County, there's 386,378 Democrats with a support score of 90 or above. If we contact 50% of them, or a little over 193,000, and we got half of those that we contacted, that would be 96,000, getting closer to 97,000 signatures, which would be really phenomenal. And it would be a very high validity rate because volunteers and Democrats who are passionate they have a high validity rate. I want you to look real quick and see how many high scoring Democrats are in your legislative district. Take note of that. Arizona Deserves Better wants you to reach out to all of them. Oops, sorry, I think there's a typo in LD 30, but we'll fix that later. Quickly, in LD 18, what we're doing is having public events, tabling at library, restaurant, parks, and any other local events where tabling can be done, but also PCs and volunteers are organizing relationship building events. So stop and sign driveway parties, you know, an event in the park in the morning, catching the people, you know, walking dogs. And besides, it's cooler out in the morning. And staying outside is kind of a good thing to do now because of the pandemic. And just to share, Ahwatukee, which is just over a quarter of LD 18, right now they have 50 active volunteers. They have 4 weekly public events that their volunteers are manning. They're also tabling at other local events whenever they see an opportunity. Curriculum nights, they're following the law and doing what they need to do, but they're out there talking to voters and getting them to sign petitions. They have 8 relationship building events scheduled in the next 4 weeks, and they already have 110 signed petitions. And you may say, well, LD 18, that's LD 18. Well, what about LD 15? So Jeff and Mary Fortney, they're PCs in LD 15 in Dixieland precinct. They invited neighbors by text, phone, and social media. And they got 28 signatures on each of the petitions, and they got 7 new volunteers and PC prospects. So I really encourage you to consider doing this. I am serving in an advisor capacity. Mary Fortney is actually the field coordinator for Maricopa County and outside of Maricopa County. In Maricopa County, Arizona Deserves Better has hired 3 organizers. In Northwest Maricopa County is Blake Lister. South Maricopa is Rebecca Dominguez. Southwest Maricopa is Landon Andreas. And Dr. Peaton, I want Landon to help you with LD4. And Mary's also working with a couple of people covering North and South Arizona. So identify a legislative district contact. The Arizona Deserves Better field organizer will get petitions, training, and needed supplies to your LD. And then if you haven't already done that, do that immediately. And then identify team leaders, event organizers, and then outreach volunteers and staff volunteers. And you will find that people are excited about getting involved in this when they see what's been happening in regards to voter suppression. And then be sure to submit your events to Arizona Deserves Better to your field organizer if you want it to be promoted on the Arizona Deserves Better website. We're getting more and more traffic there. And then petitions need to be turned in by September 21st, the 25th, to make sure that we stop those laws. But going beyond that, I just want to remind you that, you know, this activity can be really great. And getting the signatures in by the end of September, that means later this year, there's going to be more opportunities to get those volunteers and new PCs, to get more signatures for the initiatives, for candidates, and just be preparing. Redistricting is going to happen sometime in early 2022. And then, and so everyone will be prepared. You'll have a bigger team to move into that. However we get redistricted. And that's one of the great things about doing these local kind of precinct activities. And then of course, in July and August, getting out the vote for the primary elections, you know, and then it'll be time to fine tune for general election candidates. And we will all have a bigger base to help get out the vote and win a lot of down ballot races and flip the Arizona legislature. So if you have your phone, you can go to this barcode. If you've never seen a Linktree, it's something your LD might want to be using. This goes to a Linktree. Mary Fortney has set up a couple of things on there. You can contact her directly, her email address. is there, and ArizonaDeservesBetter.com is the website for Arizona Deserves Better. Arizona Deserves Better is working hand in glove with Stop Dark Money, and so since nobody's here to say anything about them, I have to say a little bit about that. They have been tremendously supportive. All of these things, of course, are nonpartisan, so it's an opportunity to get everyone involved. But these referendums, we can just reach out to our high-scoring Dems and build and start build for next year right now. So let's win the referendums, let's win down ballot, and let's flip the Arizona legislature blue. And I'm done unless there's any questions. If you put them in the chat, I guess we can follow up. I'm not sure how you want to do that, Nancy.
Hi, Allison. I think the chat is now open, so people can put in comments, and I think you can see them. You just have to choose panelists and attendees. And then let's welcome Beth Lewis from SOS AZ. Welcome, Beth.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for staying on. Thank you for having me, Nancy and Alexia. Just to build on what Allison said, we are so excited that so many LDs and PCs have already stepped up to help collect signatures for Invest in Arizona and Arizona Deserves Better. I want to just go over Invest in Arizona really quickly because I think a lot of you probably have a general understanding. Invest in Arizona is a wide coalition of groups statewide. We are working to overturn some bills that were passed by the Republican majority in the legislature and Governor Ducey, who just this session passed massive tax cuts that will severely damage our economy, hurt working class families, public education, and more, all to the benefit of the wealthy, their donor base. So this suite of bills includes a tax on Proposition 208, showing that 47 lawmakers took it upon themselves to reverse the will of 1.6 million Arizona voters. It also includes a flat tax that overwhelmingly favors the rich and a tax cap that works with that. And so what lawmakers did is they split all of this into 3 bills, trying to make our work harder, anticipating a referendum. And luckily, our volunteers have had no problem handling all 3 petitions. We're tabling all around the state, but it's really clear that Arizonans have to fight back against these bills because economists are projecting a $2 billion loss per year to our general fund, which funds healthcare, infrastructure, and obviously education. So at this point, if we do not successfully refer them to the ballot, they will become all but permanent. So that means that it would take a 2/3 majority of our legislature to overturn these laws. So that's why success with Invest in Arizona is incredibly important for every single person in the state. So we do have to collect 120,000 plus signatures, even without the cushion, for each of the 3 measures by September 28th. And we are trying to get those turned in, like Allison said, by that last week of September. We need help from every PC and every LD to make this successful. If you do not have petitions, I will drive them to you myself. I will make sure that you get them in your hands as soon as possible. You can email me at beth@sosarizona.org. I put a link in the chat. You can go to investinaZnow.com and all of the information is there too. We have a really great statewide network, including all of our LDs or most of our LDs and all sorts of volunteers all around the state. So we'll get them to you. So in closing, I'm so grateful to you. And I just want to underscore how critical it is for the future of our state that Invest in Arizona has to be successful. So please help me, help all of us, and let's all work together to make this successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Beth. And you'll put your chat or your contact info in the chat. And I see Kaylin. Welcome, Kaylin Fodder. How are you?
I am doing well. Hello, MCDP. I'm so glad some people were able to stick around. It's so good to see some familiar names and faces, even if we're over Zoom. My name is Kaylin, and I work with Healthcare Rising Arizona. And I'm here to talk with you just real quickly about a statutory initiative, so not a referendum, We actually have until July of next year to get some signatures. But we are working on an initiative called the Predatory Debt Collection Protection Act. Where did this come from? I think, as many of you probably know, healthcare costs are one of the leading causes of bankruptcy across our nation. We have all been there where you go into the doctor and you come out and there's that $5,000 bill or that $400 bill, the bill that you didn't expect, and the bill that can really make a difference in can you make your rent payment or your mortgage payment this month or not. So as Healthcare Rising Arizona, for the past year or so, we've been doing a big dive across the state, asking people to share with us their healthcare story. And unfortunately, we hear lots of these terrifying stories of medical debt and what that can do to losing your home and losing your car and losing your belongings. So as an organization, we came together and we tried to fix it at the legislature. And unfortunately, there just wasn't enough will from the majority to get this passed legislatively. And so we decided to go forward with an initiative because we know that Arizona voters know exactly how difficult these types of medical debt situations can be. So what our initiative does is a pretty simple fix to a pretty devastating problem that we have. What our initiative does is it is going to protect at better rates the things that debt collectors can try and take away from you when you have these types of outrageous bills. So the Predatory Debt Collection Protection Act is going to work with existing law. So we actually already have some debt protection laws on the book in Arizona. The problem is these laws are very old and the numbers don't make sense and they're not protective for working families anymore. So what our initiative is going to do is it's going to increase the protection for your homestead so that collectors can't take your home from you if you have these outrageous bills. It's going to increase the protection for your vehicle. Lord knows, especially in Maricopa County, this is a place to drive. So if you don't have access to a vehicle, it makes it really difficult to get to work, to take care of your kids, to get to and from places. It's going to protect the amount of money that's in your bank account. Here's a scary number. Did you know that today only $300 is protected in your checking account from collections? That's an APS bill next month. That's not a number that you can protect yourself with. And it's going to increase the amount of household and furnishings and goods that are protected. Currently, we're going to increase that number. Just kind of a final element is Arizona actually has like a D or an F rating for wage garnishment protections. Currently, up to 25% of your disposable earnings can be subject to wage garnishment. We would like to limit that to no more than 10% to try and protect families from these usurious practices. And then finally, to wrap this all up in a nice bow to protect consumers, is this initiative would protect the amount of interest that can be charged on medical debt. So our initiative defines medical debt. We include ambulance rides as one of those costs that can contribute to medical debt prices. And we cap that interest rate at no more than 3%. Currently, that interest rate can be up to and even more than 10% compounded annually. So talk about just being stuck in a never-ending cycle of bills that you can't pay off and getting stuck in this collections process. So just to kind of recap, this is going to be an initiative that we are trying to put on the November 2022 ballot. It would be a statutory change, and so we have until July of 2022 to collect a bunch of signatures. And when this thing passes, we are going to be able to breathe a really big sigh of relief that you are not going to lose your home because of a medical expense. You are not going to lose your car because of a medical expense. We are going to empower consumers to be able to take care of their homestead and their families. We just really think that no one should be homeless or houseless because of a medical debt that was unexplained and unplanned for. I'm going to put my contact information in the chat. Please feel free to reach out to me. We would love to speak at your LD meetings. We would love to connect you with petitions. Thank you so much for sticking on, and thank you, Nancy and Alexia, for having me. And please enjoy the rest of your wonderful Saturday.
Thank you so much. I just wanted, I'm hoping you all saw that Bill Pierce put information in the chat that he's running again for mining inspector statewide, and he is looking for some people to work with him. So take a look at that's towards the bottom of the chat. Thank you for all of the information today. And I just have to say once again that I'm so grateful to my team who put this together. I have to mention Eder Diaz-Martinez for putting together the slides, all of the information, the sponsorships. He's been working round the clock for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I'm so grateful to him. And also to Laura Koppel, who's been helping with so many aspects of this convention. And Alexi and I are so grateful to the team. So thank you very much. And I think that without further ado, just so grateful for all of the donations today and for your support. And I look forward to meeting you all in person. Stay tuned. We're thinking about an in-person Diamond event, but we're watching the Delta variant numbers very closely. So we will keep you posted if we can do that in the fall. And thank you again. And Nalexia, do you want to add any other final comments? Stephen, again, thank you. I think I heard we are up over 12,000 in donations, which is, you know, incredible. We're so grateful. So I think we're good. And Alexia is giving me the go ahead. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Thank you for sharing it with us. And stay tuned for more information on the county party's location for 2022 and for up and coming events. Thank you again, everyone.